I'm going to talk a little bit about the other boxes that I usually have, or the other toolbars that I usually have visible, Docker's visible at any one time. So Memorial Designer has got my granite fills and spacing, etc. The next one that I use regularly is the Object Manager, and that's what I'm going to talk about most of this time. Within the Object Manager, you can see there are various objects. If I select the plate here, you can see that it has selected the group of objects which comprise that that plate. I can drill through that and I can see each individual item. Likewise, if I select the base, you can see that there is a group of objects in the base, and groups can contain groups as well, so you can see that these are all nested down, and these are just the objects that are used to create the effect of the granite base. So if I just shrink all those down again, if I select the two objects together by pressing and holding the Shift key, there's a different video on the pick tool, so if you're new to the pick tool, then have a look at that one. Shift click, then you'll see that the two objects are selected. One of the common things that can happen when you're creating memorials is that you put the headpiece on before you put the base. So if I just reproduce that by deleting the base and then just adding it back in again. Again, same feature that sometimes happens if you don't get the option to import its original position, then just open a new window up and the import its original position is visible. You can always delete the import up here. There we go. Right, so if I brought these in the wrong way around, then it looks like the headpiece is actually sat behind the base rather than on top of it, and you can see here that the order of these objects has changed around. So now the memorial headpiece is below the base, and that's why it appears as though the base is in front of the memorial. So there's a number of ways that I can fix this problem. I can either select the memorial headpiece and bring it to the top of the page by pressing Control and Home, and you can see now that that's moved it from the bottom to the top. I'll move that back down again. Control page down will move objects up and down one, Control end moves it all the way to the back, Control page up moves it up one object at a time, and Control home will bring it right to the top. The other way that you can do it is also then just by picking up the object inside the Object Manager and dragging it, and you see how that line appears as to where it's going to position it. So at the moment it's there going to go on the top, and there it is. Now my memorial is on the top. So if you ever get an instance where something is behind, or apparently behind something that you wanted to see, then that's possibly the solution. One of the standard reasons that might happen is if you're clicking the Add Flowers button on the screen. So on Memorial Designer, Add Flowers, because of the way the US do flowers and vases, Add Flowers will always add the object behind. So you can see here that there is something that's selected in a rectangle here, but you can't see what it is. And if you look over in Object Manager, you can see that the flowers is sat both behind the memorial base and behind the memorial itself. So if I press Control and page up, you'll see that the flowers moves up one level. It's moved above the base, but it's still not in front of the memorial. If I press Control and page up again, it will now move it onto the front, and I can pick the flowers up and move them around to the front of the memorial like that. So this is a way of visualizing where objects are sitting within the object browser window. And within the layers, you can create layers and things like that. I'm not going to go into any of that in any of these videos. If you're familiar with layers from within Photoshop or Corel Photo Paint, then you will rapidly understand that the benefits of being able to make layers and make them visible and invisible, etc. But it's beyond where I'm expecting to get in this sort of video. Okay, doc.